Hey friends, this is your Saturday, March 21st daily briefing. Just got done filming a sermon for all of you to use tomorrow morning. I'll talk more about that in a minute. First, just sort of a brief current reality. Obviously, we continue to see coronavirus cases in the U.S. continue to climb. There's some places like New York where that's pretty significant right now. I want to remind you, in Douglas County, there's still only 39 cases confirmed by the county health department. So again, we're still in pretty good shape here. The obvious concern is there's lots of people carrying the virus who might not be showing symptoms. And here's what I want to remind you of. You're going to see over the next 7 days all kinds of prognostications about people are still reacting to mathematical modeling. I want to remind you, no one actually knows. Right? So we respond to wisdom, to public wisdom in this moment. We respond to our elected officials whose job is to try to keep us safe as a society. But we don't panic and we don't fret and we don't worry about, are there going to be 1 million people dead or only 1,000 people dead? Remember, our job is to act in the moment, to live in the present. And one of the hard things about living through a moment like this is we can't live in the future and we can't live in the past. We got to embrace what our responsibilities are today. Let me mention a couple things that you're going to face as you continue to respond to this. So this already happened to me. So my wife yesterday or the day before received text messages from 2 credible friends, like people we know, we trust, we like them. They're not strange or really far removed from us kind of people. The text messages were, hey, I just got this text from a friend. Here's what it says. And the text from the friend was, hey, I have a friend who works for Homeland Security. They're getting ready to shut down the entire country for 30 days. They're going to send in the National Guard. We're all going to be quarantined in our houses. Those kinds of things are classic conspiracy theories. And in a moment like this, they don't just show up on social media, which sometimes you would expect that. They show up person to person. They get texted to you. And there's this sense of maybe this is happening. And for me in that moment, there's a sense of I don't think that's true, but what if it is? Maybe it is. I think that's what we all tend to feel as we're taking in all kinds of information and prognostications about what could happen, is this sense of well, what if that's true? So I want to remind you to live in the present. And again, to seek reliable sources, to listen to those who know, and to be the kind of person who doesn't panic and fret in a moment like this. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. And we need to stick together. And as the people of God, live by the book of Proverbs, live in wisdom, live according to the best practices of wise people in moments like this, which is not to worry about the future, and again, not to think about the past, but to try to live wisely in the present. So please continue to be committed to that. Now, tomorrow is going to look odd as a church because we're going to be gathering in living rooms. And as I said, I recorded a sermon. And as I told you on the daily briefing the other day, there's a new website, cdomaha.com/livingroomliturgy, where all that will go live at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. Some of it's already there. The sermon will go there by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And the goal is you gather in your living room with your family or whoever you want and practice worship together, sing songs, confess your sin, use professions of faith, read scripture, and then allow that sermon to sort of be the grounding teaching for the morning. I've already heard from a lot of you that you're really excited about this living room liturgy. I'm excited about it too. I'm excited to try it out and see how it works. Again, you're free to figure out who you want to gather with and how you want to gather. For some of you, it's going to be, let's just gather with our family. For some of you, you want to reach out and say, hey, who are some friends in our gospel community? Or even I've heard of people saying, hey, I'm going to invite my neighbors into this with me. You're free to do this however you want. As long as you try to follow the health guidance that has been given to us by our city officials, we're letting you take the lead here in how you want to worship in your living room. The goal will be that tomorrow, all across our city, there'll be people worshiping in their living rooms, seeking God together, using the same liturgy, the same scripture passages, listening to the same sermon, but doing it in a bunch of different places. And in that way, we continue to be the church, even though we can't gather as the church. So I hope you enjoy that, and I'd love to hear your feedback as we head into next week. So if there's things that don't work well or things that you feel like are wonky, we want to try to perfect it because we're going to continue to do this over the weeks that lie ahead as long as we have to. we're making it up as we go, just like you're making it up as you go. So we think we have a good thing put together, but man, if we missed on something or there's ways we could do it better or get it to you more effectively, let us know that, all right? So hang in there. Remember, tomorrow is the Lord's Day. It's not coronavirus's day. It's not the CDC's day. It's not the government's day. It's not Trump's day. It's the Lord's Day. So let's let tomorrow be the Lord's Day. Shut off your news feed. Don't worry about the National Guard coming and locking your house. Worship Jesus. I'll see you Monday.